This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yerkew and Peter Scoop Stanton. This is the radio show that will break your neck if your neck needs breaking. And here are the hosts of 7.5 Radio, Walter Yerkew, star of the biggest documentary movie ever made, The 7.5, and Peter Scoop Stanton, who starred in To Catch a Predator.
How many more times treat me the way you want to do?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, one and all. This is Peter Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew on 7.5 Radio. Check us out at 75radio.org. The number is 75radio.org. We are red hot and rolling this 18th of July 2026. Walt, how are we doing tonight, my friend?
Doing okay, I guess. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing okay. I'm freezing my tuchus off. It's about 63 degrees in upstate New York. But anyway, so much for climate change. Anyways, we want to say hello to all of our special listeners, including Little Billy Kiba and the men and alleged woman of the Yanadasas, New York Fire Department, where I am at tonight. New York's finest, New York's bravest, New York's boldest, New York's strongest, those living on Long Island in the 2nd Congressional District, and all members of Customs and Borders Protection and ICE. As usual, we read off the names of members of the law enforcement community who were murdered in the line of duty. Tonight, we remember Deputy U.S. Marshal Drew Hansen of the U.S. Marshal Service. End of watch, July 13, 2026. His killer, thankfully, is in custody. And tonight we have a remarkable guest. She's a remarkable young lady, born behind the Iron Curtain in Moldova. She is a professional artist. She has a painting of the current president hanging at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. She is the one that painted the iconic portrait of Donald Trump that he uses on his Truth account. She is known as Maga
Langelo.
Maga Angela. And 7.5 Radio is proud to introduce Ms. Elena Ruseva to the show. How are we doing tonight, madam?
Good evening, America. Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. I'm happy to be with you tonight.
The braiding.
Outstanding.
Dobry wieczór. Which is that? Hello.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You're saying something, Walter?
No.
Okay. All right. But Elena, tell us a little about yourself, your amazing story. You're born in behind the Iron Curtain in Moldova under the flag of the USSR, and then you paint a portrait of Donald Trump where he has not only hanging in his home in Washington, D.C., but it's the actual portrait that he uses on his Truth account.
Correct. I guess this story is a great example of how America can make your dreams come true. I didn't expect such a success, and for me, as somebody who was born in a communistic country and came to the United States chasing American dream, be recognized by President of United States himself. And as I heard, he not just used across his social media, like a True Social, Instagram, and TikTok, my portrait as his profile picture. He has this painting on his phone screen. So this how much he loves this art piece, because it literally reflects his soul. He loves America so much that he cannot just stop looking at this painting, because it's everything what introduced his nature. And I appreciate our great country and our great president, because for me, Trump is not just a personality, it's a phenomenon of American history. And I'm sure like in 50 or 100 years, our kids and grandkids will review what happened now, what's going on nowadays, and they will be amazed how one strong person could just stop whole communistic illness, which is attacking this country from outside, from within. he was able to stop this and how just normal, regular, usual American people, hardworking people supported his ideas and core values of United States.
Outstanding. And, that's what we love about many of the immigrants coming to America, not the ones that come here just to screw us over and rob us blind, but the people like yourself and our spokesmodel and the many people that hang out with here in Washington, D.C., to come here from outside the U.S., come here and live the American dream. But anyways, how did you get into painting?
It was my passion since I was born. I spoiled my parents' house because since I was able to scroll around the floor and hold in my hand any pen or pencil, I was painting on the walls. I didn't need any paper, so they renew house constantly. And every time when I was sitting quiet, for them it was nightmare because they knew what's coming. They knew that all walls will be in my beautiful painting since I was like probably 3 years old. But when I came to United States as any legal immigrant, you have to just go through this downshifting. You have to build your life from the scratch, from zero. It doesn't matter what type of education and how many diplomas you have. Doesn't matter how much you achieved in your homeland. When you come to land of free, you have to start to build everything from scratch, and it's beautiful process because it just makes your inner core more edges changed. You just have to chase your dreams. You just have to follow and be laser focused on your goals. And my goal was just to succeed in this country because I knew that it's country of your opportunities and chances to do whatever you want. And America, if you take a look at whole globe, this country, exactly this country, is very special. It was built by free people. It was built by hardworking people. We didn't have any kingdoms here. We didn't have any empires here. It was from the very beginning, for 250 years, country of free people who can just make everything what they want. They can achieve everything what they want. And all immigrants who come here with open heart and clean background, legally, with getting permission of CBP officers, being checked by Homeland Security Department. All of us who came here, we appreciate this land endlessly. And nobody is so much pissed as we are by having here 20 million of illegal immigrants. We are pissed more than American citizens because we know the process, how to become legal resident of this country, and we appreciate it. It was beautiful process, hard one, but beautiful before Biden ruined everything. We were checked by Homeland Security and CIA hardly that our background is perfect, that we have decent job, decent money, that Interpol doesn't want us, that we come here to visit you with our money to improve your economic, and we are not harmful, not dangerous for you, for citizens who were born here. It was beautiful process. And when Biden became the president, what he did is just insane. He flooded this country with so many, we don't know even who, crime elements, rapists, the sexual trafficking. Everything is such a disgusting. All those 4 years, we were so furious, and we tried to reach out to people and try to wake up Americans that they have to go and vote. They have to be citizens in duty. They have to fight for their homeland every year, every election. Every time when you have the smallest one for Board of Education, or you have something for the city council, go and vote. Never, ever escape them. Never think that it's okay, I'm going to go probably vote once in 4 years just for president. No. This is how you find all those perverts suddenly just taking over your city and over your county and over your state because you ignore the problem from the core. And Churchill said that socialism is a philosophy of failure and shared misery. And you can see now what's going on in New York City with this crazy socialist in the power who hates this country to the core. And we legal immigrants are shocked how many Americans became indoctrinated and how many Americans hate their own country.
Okay, Elena, we just got one question out of the gate, and we're done with our first segment. But when we come back, we want to hear more about how you got in the conservative movement, met Donald Trump, and a whole lot more. Anyways, this is 75 Radio on Liberty News Radio Network. Take it away, boys.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At cspoa.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever.
Why don't we say to the government writ large that they have to spend a little bit less? Anybody ever had less money this year than you had last? Anybody ever having a 1% pay cut? You deal with it. That's what government needs, a 1% pay cut. If you take a 1% pay cut across the board, you have more than enough money to actually pay for the disaster relief. But nobody's going to do that because they're fiscally irresponsible. Who are they? Republicans. Who are they? Democrats. Who are they? Virtually the whole body is careless and reckless with your money. So the money will not be offset by cuts anywhere. The money will be added to the debt, and there will be a day of reckoning. What's the day of reckoning? The day of reckoning may well be the collapse of the stock market. The day of reckoning may be the collapse of the dollar. When it comes, I can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you it has happened repeatedly in history when countries ruin their currency.
This is a battle between truth and deceit, a battle between forces that would enslave this country in darkness and between a media that wants to present you with the truth. We are being censored. America's news outlets no longer provide the truth. 90% of news outlets in the United States are controlled by 6 corporations. The mission of the Epoch Times is to chase the truth, to ground all statements in fact.
TheEpochTimes.com.
You're back, and Scoop is just getting done staring at Danila's Instagram account. Here's more 75 Radio.
And we are back. Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew and our guest, Elena Ruseva. She is the artist that painted the Free America Donald Trump portrait that currently hangs in the White House, and Donald Trump uses as his icon for Truth Social. But anyways, Elena, you just hit the ground running. Besides the painter, I think we found a new job for you, fill-in radio talk show host. But anyways, moving right along, how did you get into the conservative movement?
When I wanted to create my very first art collection, as I learned how to establish my name as an artist, so I wanted just to make my whole art series with one topic, something sharp, something controversial, and I wanted to exhibit my art somewhere in New York. I was so naive back in 2021 that I was totally flying in my dreams and believing in democracy in New York, actually. And I went to art galleries door by door, showing them presentation with 30 paintings of President Trump, because I wanted to paint Trump. I liked his personality. And it wasn't political art. It was just something like, I call this collection Trump Parallel Universe. So 100% of art galleries in Manhattan showed me middle finger and said, because of subject of matter, they will not let me in. So did the pop stores as well. I wasn't able to schedule my art show for 6 months, and I started to receive tons of death threats and absolutely disgusting messages. And it was the moment when I realized that liberals and Democrats in this country, they have nothing in common with democracy and with liberty. Absolutely. It's totally opposite people, absolutely brainwashed, aggressive, ready to attack you. They're okay you to be killed just because they disagree with your point of view. And for me, it was a historical moment for my life when I just decided that, you know what, it's so wrong, it's so absolutely unacceptable for me that I'm going to go absolutely towards two opposite direction. So they literally made me hardcore MAGA by their own hands, by pushing me and canceling me and promising to kill me in all possible ways.
So you had people threatening you for portraits of the U.S. president. Wow.
Correct. They were so pissed that I painted Trump that I learned all dirty words in English because I didn't know them. I didn't focus on learning those words, but I had to just translate those words because I couldn't understand what they text me. And then I started to receive calls and voicemails and tons of messages and tons of comments that they wish me to be dead, they will slay me, they will cut my head. So there were all type of deaths, which you can just imagine. It was thousands. And I reached out to Newsmax, and they made their own research. They make sure that it's truth, what happened. So it's just insane. You know how many times they tried to kill President Trump. You know that they killed Charlie Kirk. They attack a lot of conservatives and Republicans. And it happens not just nowadays. It happened with President Lincoln. It happened with Reagan. It happened with Roosevelt. And it happened with Trump. They are unstoppable. Those people who pretend they're so loyal and tolerant and freedom-loving, they're the most aggressive, angry, brainwashed community in this country. This is scary. And they pushed me hard away from their philosophy, from their view, from everything what is related to them. I will never, ever accept them. They have enemy in my face till rest of my life now. I will fight them as long as I'm breathing.
Good for you, Elena. Now, were you inspired to do this patriotic art before these leftist kooks were threatening you with death threats, or were you already a patriot in America that you just wanted to do patriotic pictures?
No, I just started to paint. I just picked something emotional, controversial topic for America in 2021. And I was totally out of politics. I was a patriot of United States, but I did not belong to Republican side or Democratic side. I just love this land. I just love this country. I love spirit. I love traditions. I love people. I love nature, everything. I love this country till each cell of this country, till each millimeter of this land. And I painted Trump because I wanted to paint Trump. It's First Amendment. I can practice my rights to speak, and my art is my words. It's my speech. And when they try to cancel me, it kind of surprised me. It didn't scare me, but it surprised me really. I didn't expect that.
Right. If a lady like you immigrate to the United States, you think the left would welcome you with open arms. But since you painted somebody they don't like, they want to cut your head off. And this is the party of tolerance. But moving right down to Donald Trump, how did your painting end up in the White House?
I met him on his own birthday in 2022 in Bedminster. He just came to the event where I was with a group of patriots, Vietnamese for America First, as I remember right. And they had there my small art exhibit for this group of people. And I didn't expect that Trump will be there. They told me that he's coming. I'm like, yeah, tell me. Kind of, I didn't take it seriously. But then I heard that crowd is roaring. I just turned my head. I saw President coming in, and he went straight to my art pieces, asked who did it, grabbed me from the crowd, and spent with me a good 20 minutes just talking about my art. And I saw in his eyes that he fell in love with certain art pieces. So he picked 3 of them, and exactly this art piece with a flag over his face. When he asked me how much I want for all paintings, I said this one is going to be my gift for best president of the best country. And I gave him this portrait as a birthday gift. He took it, and I didn't expect that. First he hung it in his office 45 in Bedminster Club. Then he pulled it to the White House and hang it over there. But I guess 6 months after his birthday, I got a call from my friend, and he said, did you check or did you see what Trump did on his True Social? I said, no, what? And then I saw that he posted my picture as my painting as a profile picture. And it's the highest honor which I could receive, because I'm the only one artist on whole planet whose art piece president used as his profile picture. And every time when you see that news quote Trump or whatever he posts on his True Social, whole globe see my art piece. It's something I cannot even get it till now. It happened 3 years ago, but till now it gives me chill. It takes my breath away. I'm so grateful and so happy that I just cannot believe sometimes that it's truth.
Wow. But, Elena, I'm going to throw it over to my co-host, Mr. Yerke, who's waiting in the wings. Well, what questions do you have for our awesome guest?
Well, I don't have many questions, if any. I'm quite impressed at this young lady and what she's accomplished and where she stands on her political values. And she's in the right country to express that. Unfortunately, there are these morons out there that she wants to cut her head off there, because all those leftists want to cut all our heads off that are on the right.
I have a great idea for all people who studied here communism, socialism, critical racial theory, and love socialism and support socialists. Please, can Congress pass the law that let's buy one-way ticket to North Korea for all of them and tell them to come back to the United States not earlier than in 5 years. Let them live through real communism. Let them live through real dictatorship. Let them stay over there for 5 years, then come back and tell us again how socialism and communism are perfect and good for society. Send them there.
Right. And you bring up a good point that these same people that just absolutely hate America say it's racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, whatever phobic is popular today. They hate on it, spit on our flag, and protest us, and throw bricks at our cops, and so on and so forth. But they don't leave, so it's like very interesting. And the same people talk about Venezuela, how great that place is, and Cuba, and all these other places, but they're still here. So,
help them out. Pack them and send them there for a long-lasting 5 years vacation, not paid. Block their bank cards and send them there. Let them survive in communistic countries. How many communistic countries exist on this planet? Socialistic? 7? And show me one which succeeds. None.
Right. Or if not North Korea, my suggestion is Somalia, or Haiti, because was it Conan O'Brien? He went down to Haiti. But he stayed on a resort. You didn't see him going through like downtown Port-au-Prince, or if he did, he had a armed security, looked like a SEAL Team 6. But it just these people. What kills me is that you got immigrants coming here, like Ilhan Omar, perfect example, comes in as a refugee, becomes a member of Congress, just craps all of this country. But anyways. We're coming to our halfway point, and Elena, I want to still keep you on. I want to ask you what's your thought on everything going to socialism when we come back, and we'll cover some news. This is 7.5 Radio on Liberty News Radio Network. Take it away, boys.
Protecting your liberties. You're listening to Liberty News Radio.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. The U.S. has launched more airstrikes on Iran after the deaths of 2 American service members. U.S. Central Command announced today the new strikes were launched at the president's direction and are aimed at punishing Iranian forces who launched attacks on U.S. soldiers last night. 2 service members were killed in an Iranian attack in Jordan, and 1 remains missing. Iran says it's suspending its commitments under the interim deal with the U.S.
An Iranian negotiator says Tehran has suspended its commitments under the interim deal with the United States as both countries exchange strikes aimed at infrastructure and military targets. The battle over the Strait of Hormuz has intensified, with Iran striking a plant for drinking water in Kuwait. Iran's deputy foreign minister told state TV that the U.S. has violated its commitments under the deal that was signed about a month ago, and now Iran is no longer implementing them. I'm Donna Warner.
Federal health officials have identified lettuce from Mexico served by Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. states as a source of the widespread outbreak of diarrhea-causing parasite Cyclospora.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the source and warned consumers not to eat shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell restaurants in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. Officials have identified a single supplier of the lettuce. The federal warnings to consumers didn't identify the company, but a federal official who was briefed on the investigation and not authorized to discuss it told the AP it was Taylor Farms in Salinas, California. I'm Haya Panchwani.
Rescue teams from around the country are descending on Texas to help save hundreds of people from rising floodwaters. Torrential downpours in central Texas killed 2 people this week and stranded hundreds in flooded homes and submerged vehicles. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Larry Elder here. These words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, and just good old daily living. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that works through multiple metabolic pathways to support comfort and mobility. No prescription, no masking symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. I take Relief Factor every single day, have done so for years. I don't want my pain to come back. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF.
Attention collectors and savvy investors. We are excited to announce a momentous evolution in our journey. Introducing Free Water Coin Company, formerly known as Rust Coin and Gift. This rebranding takes us back to the very roots of where it all began, Free Water, Oregon. It's a tribute to the legacy of Al Rust and a celebration of 3 generations of dedication to excellence in the world of coins and precious gifts. Al, Brian, and Jake Rust standing strong through 64 years of service. Discover a world of exceptional service at Free Water Coin Company, your premier destination for genuine, honest money and precious gifts. Under Brian's expert guidance, Free Water Coin Company, building on the legacy of Rust Coin and Gift, continues its tradition of trust and excellence. Visit us at our Provo, Utah location. Explore our treasures online at freewatercoinco.com or call us at 801-377-1574. Free Water Coin Company, where your future is built one honest coin at a time.
Looking for an IT partner that truly understands your needs? Managed IT Services is the answer. We meet with you regularly to discuss your goals and form a tailored technology plan. Our customers have called us a trusted advisor who delivers. When it comes to IT, we do it all. Firewalls, cloud storage, server migration, and more. Say goodbye to long-term contracts and hello to a team that earns your business month after month. Call 801-706-6980 now and let Managed IT Services transform your IT experience.
Have you ever had great honey? No, I mean really good, all-natural, raw honey? Well, now you can, thanks to localhoneyman.com. We can ship out our locally made honey all across the U.S. So don't worry, you won't miss out. Plus, Local Honeyman has so many different flavors, like Utah Wildflower, High Desert Delight, Happy Valley, and Blackberry, just to name a few. So purchase your delicious raw honey today at localhoneyman.com.
you're still listening, here's more 7-5 Radio.
And we are back. Scoop staying with Walter Yerkew and a very awesome guest, Elena Ruseva, who is known for painting the Free America Donald Trump portrait, which currently hangs in the White House, and Donald Trump has used as his picture on Truth Social. Anyways, Elena, how can people get in touch with you or follow you on social media? Do you have any social media accounts? Oh, did we lose Elena? Oh, I guess I guess we lost her. All right, but anyways, let me text your caller back. This is 7-5 Radio. We are red hot and rolling. I just texted her call back. Anyways, well, what's your take on our awesome guest? I thought she did a bang up job.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job too. I mean, to take a stand, such as from her background, and being over here in the States, to take such a stand as, in the conservative side, I think it's pretty amazing.
Right, because I want to ask her about the socialism that's taken over New York City with Mandami and also New Jersey across the river. But anyways, we'll wait for her. If she calls in, she calls in. If not, we'll keep moving right along. Anyways, we do some news stories. The first one, Al Sharpton. He just never get between him and a television camera, or him and a dinner table. But this summer, it's been a quiet news cycle because of the summer. Mainstream media is taking the summer off to go on vacations, which they should. But anyways, you have this incident in Mississippi with this young man, Nolan Wells. And it turns out Mr. Wells was with a group of people on a boat. They went to some island in the Mississippi, had a good time, and then Mr. Wells ended up dead. And Wells's parents hired Benjamin Crump, who's a aimless chasing civil rights attorney, and Al Sharpton, who's not an attorney, just had to put his big head into the mix. So, anyways, Al Sharpton, he did a press conference, and he's looked like one of these idiot police officials and a detective trying to tell us what's going on. He said, like, well, here's my nose, here's my eyes, here's my brain, something don't smell right or something like that. Just looking like an idiot. And here's the thing. It's like 3 white kids said, you know what, let's befriend this guy, take him on the boat, go party on this island, this, that, and another thing, then we'll get rid of him. I mean, that's just absolutely preposterous. So an autopsy was done. We don't know the results of the autopsy. Toxicology reports hasn't come back yet. But washed-up NFL star Colin Kaepernick offered to pay for a second autopsy, and the body was moved from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. for a second autopsy. And this second autopsy is going to say whatever they want him to say. But anyway, but anybody knows anything about boats, especially if you're going to go in a body of water, like go to an island or a sandbar or a dock, you got your phone, you got your keys, you got your wallet, your money, your watches, clothes. You lose things on the boats. I should know because my family got a boat, and also if you have too much alcohol in you, you will get hurt. I also know that from personal experience. And I was right on the shore when I fell off and broke my hip. But and these things happen. But for the simple fact that these 2 idiots, Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton, had to stick their nose in their cans of gasoline where it doesn't belong, because you know what they're going to do with that gasoline, just like Jason Statham's character did in the movie The Beekeeper, and just light it on fire. And the media is going to be there with the cameras on to capture it all. Walt, what say you about this situation in Mississippi?
Oh, man, Al Sharpton, since the Reverend dropped dead, a few months ago, Al Sharpton hasn't been in any kind of controversy. And, this is his way of starting out, anew without the backup of Jesse Jackson. So he's sticking his nose in business that doesn't need his nose, and and then you had this the autopsy going to Washington being paid for. I don't even want to mention the guy's name that's paying it, but it's a civilian political ploy to get back into the game. Is how I see it. And it's not even strong. It's not even a strong case. It is what it is. I don't think there's anything below the surface. I don't think there's anything nefarious about it. It is what it is. But of course, they'll write their own narrative, and it's going to die in a couple of weeks. Period. You didn't see Sharpton come up and work the trial for that black kid that stabbed the white kid at the high school track meet last year. And he's got to have something to sink his teeth into, and he feels that this is it. And Sharpton, Malcolm X went down, Dr. King went down, Jesse Jackson went down, so he's next. I don't know how else to put it. He's just next. He's gonna try to go out, swinging, but
right,
and still owing America millions of dollars in back taxes.
Right, but funny you mentioned the Carmelo Anthony situation. You didn't see Al Sharpton that much down there because there was no money involved. Carmelo Anthony was the defendant, so he's got to pay his legal fees. But here you have this Wells kid. Unfortunately, he did pass away from we don't know from what. More probably from drowning. Number one. Number two, the investigation is still ongoing. And number three, we don't have the toxicology reports. So I think him and Benjamin Crump, they're in there for pay dirt. And why would the family hire Benjamin Crump? I mean, first of all, it's a criminal case, and you hire a civil rights attorney, and it's not like it's like a bunch of good old boys in a Ford pickup truck found this kid and just like hung him or burned him or did horrible things to him. No, he was out on a boat with a bunch of white kids and having a good time. Also, what the media is not talking about is there's possibly a girl involved, number one. Number two, there were also black kids on the island, but they can't talk about that. They got to talk about these three white kids just hanging out with them. But and then they got to bring up the fact that Jim Crow and Medgar Evers and whatever happened in 1962, like Mississippi is burning. But this is 2026. I mean, the civil SPLC had to fake hate crimes because they were going out of business. Anyways, well, any final thoughts on this case in Mississippi?
Yeah, at least we talk about Al Sharpton and better Ramoff.
Right. All right, and all right, moving right along. Another situation that we love to talk about is we were right again about Jeffrey Epstein. Earlier this week, Vice President J.D. Vance flew down to Austin, Texas to be on the Joe Rogan podcast. And on the podcast, he let a bunch of things out of the bag. That's why I really love Vance, because he is a straight talker. He uses some of the 7 dirty words we can't say on television. But he came out and said that Jeffrey Epstein had connections with intelligence, with CIA, and with Mossad. And, we like to say, we told you so, because Dan Bongino, before he was the assistant director of the FBI, was on Tim Pool's podcast talking about how Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express doing something with some girls that the Secret Service agents did not want any part of whatsoever. And also how he met a guy at Fox News in the green room who, was one of these people who knows things and does things, and said, Epstein was intelligence, is intelligence, and he left it at that. And plus all the other everything that's gone on with Epstein, like the sweetheart deal he got in the early 2000s for child trafficking and everything else, he just screams intelligent asset. But J.D. Vance, said that he didn't come out and say, oh yeah, he was working for CIA or Mossad. He said he had connections. Now, other than just being a guy so allegedly good with numbers, that's coming out. It looks like blackmail. But anyways, we come back. We'll get Walt's take on us being right once again concerning Jeffrey Epstein. Also, the VFW is under fire. And we'll be right back.
As you are aware, America is divided over every fault line possible. This is intentionally fostered by those who do not love God, family, or country. We believe a peaceful future as a free people absolutely depends on civility. Clarion Call for Civility is looking for funding and volunteers at every level to make our hopes and efforts a reality. Please donate, sign our pledge, and help us in our sacred cause. Please visit callforcivility.com for more details. Callforcivility.com.
You know where the solution can be found, Mr. President? In churches, in wedding chapels, in maternity wards across the country and around the world. More babies will mean forward-looking adults, the sort we need to tackle long-term, large-scale problems. American babies in particular are likely going to be wealthier, better educated, and more conservation-minded than children raised in still industrializing countries. As economist Tyler Cowen recently wrote, quote, by having more children, you're making your nation more populous, thus boosting its capacity to solve climate change. The planet does not need for us to think globally and act locally so much as it needs us to think family and act personally. The solution to so many of our problems, at all times and in all places, is to fall in love, get married, and have some kids.
Get ready to be part of something incredible. We're breaking barriers and delivering the powerful stories that mainstream media won't touch. Your support is what fuels our mission to revolutionize journalism and bring you the truth. Join our passionate community of changemakers by donating at libertynewsradio.com today. Together, we're creating the future of news.
This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yuku. Walter Yurkow. Walter Kiwi. Here's Walton Scoop.
And we are back. During those very important commercials, I was doing my due diligence and looking at the Instagram account of our spokesmodel, Danila Rodrigues. Follow her at danilarodrigues.model. That's danilarodrigues.model. I look at her Instagram account every week to look for pictures for the archives. Anyways, before those very important commercials, we're talking about how we called it Epstein was working for intelligence, and we were right once again. Well, any thoughts on us being right once again about Epstein involved with intelligence?
Well, we do our homework. We try to do the math. And a lot of the times, we have the correct answer. We have the correct outlook. And Epstein case has been floating around for, 30 years. And, something like this, something that goes on this long and suddenly is, typical CIA narrative. Once they, use you, they eliminate you. I read a book a long time ago. I can't remember the author, but the name of it was called Fallback. And it was an espionage book. And it entailed what happens to people, such as like Epstein. They called it getting measles, which means, it's like what Hillary does. She gives people the measles.
Arkansas suicide.
They fall out of planes or fall off boats in the middle of the ocean, things like that. And, their tires explode as they're driving 80 miles an hour down the interstate, things like that. It's called getting measles. It's on the fringe of saying, "Nah, somebody killed that guy." Oh no, that's just he hung himself. Oh no, somebody killed that guy. Oh no, he hung himself. See, it's on the fringe. You're not going to get anybody to agree as a group that it was one way or the other. And it doesn't surprise me that we're correct once again.
Right. And, we love to toot our own horn because nobody else will toot our own horn because, I've been doing this for a while and this business is dirty and cutthroat. Now, our colleagues might see us as a bunch of no-talent, corrupt, drunk, stubborn cops with no listeners at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Yep. We know the real reason why Trump's inauguration was in the Capitol building, not in front of the Capitol building. We know that former CIA Director John Brennan is a treasonous dirtbag. And we know Trump had to close the borders in 2023. We also know that crime statistics are being skewered. They are being manipulated. They're juking the stats. We knew this before this all came out. We knew this before Charlie Duff knew that. And we also knew that the past four mayors, de Blasio, Adams, and Mandami, are just absolute disasters. But and we've been mentioning Talkers Magazine twice. Not bad for 3X costs, but we're still going to do our homework. We're still going to work our asses off. We're still going to get to the bottom of the story every Saturday night. So, anyways, real quick, our final story is that an Illinois Congressman, Mike Bost, who is the chairman of the House Veterans Committee, is upset about a political cartoon on a T-shirt that the Veterans of Foreign War, the VFW, is going to be selling. The T-shirt shows two gentlemen in suits, one labeled bureaucrats, the other one labeled media, pointing guns at two innocent-looking GIs. And so this congressman's up in arms about this T-shirt, fearing that somebody from the VFW is going to go out and go shoot somebody. But, any veteran is not going to go out and look at this T-shirt and go shoot somebody, number one. I think Mike Bost just wants to make a name for himself. But there's a million other things that he needs to pay attention to, like 70,000 claims yet to be processed by the VA. The VA may put out a press release saying, hey, we're down to 70,000 unprocessed claims. No, you got 70,000 to go. Get to work. Also, we all know how bad the healthcare is at VA hospitals. It's absolutely deplorable. It's like just as bad, if not worse, than a New York City hospital. Also, you still have veterans still sleeping in the streets while illegal aliens get cradled to the grave care. And then you have people like retired Commander Richard Marcinko. He was put on trial after he retired. He was accused of doing some insider trading or kickbacks or something like that. So he was he was tried and convicted in the kangaroo court, and he hasn't been pardoned yet. And if you know anything about Richard Marcinko, he's the one that started SEAL Team 6. If you read his book, I forgot his book, his autobiography, everything he wrote, it came to true. Also, you have veterans cannot take a job in federal law enforcement past the age of 36 and a half or 37, which is ridiculous because these guys and girls are in the best shapes of their lives. Also, you have Representative Dan Crenshaw. He hasn't been censored for harassing civilian Sean Ryan, mentioned in the quote, his boys from 6. Also, Representative Crenshaw hasn't been investigated for interfering with the Chief Eddie Gallagher case. Chief Gallagher was a member of the SEALs, was charged with a bunch of crimes, and he was found innocent. But Dan Crenshaw had to stick his nose in. But this guy who wants to complain about a T-shirt that VFW is going to sell, and unfortunately, it's not sale for the public yet. I imagine once they go on sale, you'll find them on eBay. Well, what say you about this guy who wants to upset over a T-shirt from the VFW?
For some reason, he's sticking his teeth into this one too, like Sharpton's digging his teeth into this Mississippi thing. Sometimes people just need to feel like they have a purpose. It's just,
Silly.
People just need a hobby other than politically trying to make a stand when they don't really know what they're talking about. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely just ridiculous.
Right.
There's starving people in the world, and this idiot's worried about a freaking T-shirt.
Right. Or you got veterans sleeping in the streets. You got veterans 20. There's a saying: it's 22 a day. That's 22 veterans every single day take their lives. And those who are having some troubles, need help, just pick up any phone, dial 988. That's a suicide hotline. That's 988 for anybody having some trouble. A couple years ago, you and I got thrown off of Twitter because a Navy veteran was having some issues, and he's pleading for help. And you, me, and actor James Woods tried to reach out the best we could. And fortunately, the guy got the help he needed, and as far as we know, he's living a productive life. But anyways, real quick, our final story is that it's possible that someone at the White House was listening to us, because Saturday we had Carlos Camacho come on, talk about these birthing centers, these facilities, hospitals, and just birthing mills where immigrants or people coming here on visas or no paperwork at all giving birth in the U.S. That way their child is a U.S. citizen and eligible for all the rights that and benefits such as a Social Security card, WIC, welfare, housing. It's a big ripoff, and you got people coming here, running across the border, and dropping a kid getting a hospital bill for $30. Who gets a hospital bill for $30? Well, guess what? The hospital is billing Medicaid. So, the mom pays $30, but guess what? We pay a whole bunch more through Medicaid. So, anyways, on Monday, the Washington Examiner reported that the Trump administration is looking to crack down on the birthing mills. So, I think it's really convenient. We talk about it on Saturday night, and then Monday morning, we find out the Trump administration is looking into this and looking to crack down. Well, what say you? Did we somebody at the White House listening to us?
Well, I think somebody at the White House listens to everything. There's a person to listen to everything. They were probably listening to the cesspool, and then just hung out and listened to us. So I think the cesspool is more of a target than we are.
Right.
They just happen to just stay on. Because of the reputation that you have, I have, in my cast. It's three different reputations, that work for the same job. And, if you got three flies flying around, there's got to be either a pile of dog crap or a hamburger close by. So
hopefully, if we're those three flies, hopefully it's a hamburger.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well, it depends. It depends on what night you listen to us.
Sometimes we're a flavor.
If Reduff is on, it's the pile of dog crap.
Anyways, for Walter Yerkew, this is Peter Scoop Stand, reminding you can make a difference. Go out and make it. See you next week, everybody.
Edwards for 7-5 Radio. For those who work the streets and the jails, thanks for keeping us safe. So long, everybody.